From unlocking secret minigames to a mistake that almost made Supercell go bankrupt. These are 21 things only Brawl Stars veterans know. If you were an 8-bit main back in the day, you probably remember how overpowered he used to be. But did you know he had his own secret minigame? By selecting him in the menu and pressing his buttons just right, you could trigger a 6-second countdown. And boom, you'd be sent to Supercell's official site to play Project Laser, where you flew and shot enemies in space with 8-bit. Honestly, I think Supercell put more effort into this than they did into Brawl Stars itself. Many players think the Godzilla event was a genius new idea by developers, but it's actually not. It's just a remastered version of Brawl Stars' old Super City Rampage mode. Back then, it was inspired by the classic Godzilla movie, with 3 brawlers teaming up to stop one massive monster that wanted to demolish the entire city. However, it wasn't as popular as Supercell hoped and was removed shortly after. But after a couple years, Supercell decided to reinvent the game a bit, changing the name and some of the mechanics in the game itself, turning it into a much more popular mode. Back in 2021, Power Play was a limited mode where players could play 3 matches per day and earn points to unlock mega boxes or skins. And by playing perfectly, players could earn a max of 1,386 points per season. However, the rewards were way too expensive, like the gold mecha bow skin that cost 50,000 points, meaning players had to grind 36 perfect seasons just to unlock it. The grind was so tedious that most players simply just gave up. Supercell later replaced Power Play with the Power League, but then replaced with Ranked as we know today. Grinding Power Play was literally a full-time job. Can I go home now? Did you know Piper was in a boxing match? I'm just kidding. But that's what players first thought when they saw Piper's old reworked profile icon. She literally had missing teeth and people immediately started making memes about it. Fortunately, the community did enough bullying for Supercell to take Piper to the dentist and add some teeth to her icon. The goal used to be an actual feature on the map, making it super easy for trolls to abuse. For some reason, Supercell decided to leave space behind the goals and make it the spawn point for players. But what they didn't expect is for players to take the ball behind the goal and spam kick and pass, making it impossible for the opposing team to take the ball. After Supercell found out about this, however, they moved goals to the edge of the map. Did you know that robots used to fall from the sky? Sounds ridiculous, right? But in the game Bot Drop, which was 3v3, you and your team would literally have to face raining robots. And every time you take one down, it drops a bolt. Once you collect 8 bolts, your team wins. Now, here's where it gets interesting. 12 robots spawned each match, but if neither team hit the bolt count in time, a massive robot would spawn, which on kill dropped 3 bolts. Unfortunately, this mode never came back that popular and was ultimately removed. Back in the beta days of Brawl Stars, you could play co-op. This was essentially a game mode where you and your friends could play against a team of bots. And asking to play co-op was really just a way to tell your friends that they sucked. However, the game mode was so unpopular that Supercell had no choice but to remove it. Luckily, today we have friendly battles, which have so many more options and are much more fun. I love friendly battles! If you wanted to guarantee yourself a win in OG Heist, then picking Daryl was a genius move. OG Daryl used to be able to move 23 tiles using his barrel roll super, which is literally more than 3 times its length today. Because of this, many players use Daryl to move their way across the entire map and just shoot down the safe in Heist. But because he was insanely overpowered, Supercell later changed Daryl's roll capacity to 7 tiles. How did Supercell think that this was a good idea? But if we're talking about speed, OG Mortis had to be the fastest brawler ever. His dash used to be just as long as his current star power, Coiled Snake, but at the time he didn't have to wait for his bar to be fully filled. What's even crazier is he didn't even have one at all, and you could just dash whenever you felt like it. This made him completely unfair in every Brawl Ball match. They should have just removed him from the game. Do you remember these bumpers in Brawl Ball? They were introduced in the stunt show season and bounced the ball a ton, making for some tricky players. Some players use them to get the ball stuck, while others discovered that cacti shared the same code as bumpers, bypassing map makers' restrictions. This led to maps where the ball would bounce endlessly. Supercell eventually fixed this, but it makes me wonder, are cacti bouncy? No, they are definitely not. If you're an OG, you probably remember seeing leaks of this minigunner. It was an overpowered brawler which could one-shot the entire map. Okay, maybe not that overpowered, because it was actually a placeholder for Pam while she was still an unfinished brawler, which leakers confirmed in the game files. The leak showed an old bull model, which walked really oddly and could shoot like Pam. He was literally able to shoot tons of bullets with his tiny shotgun, leading to players thinking a minigunner was going to be added. I've never been more disappointed. Brawl Stars used to have chips as currency. No, not those chips. Chips were a separate currency that looked like poker chips and could get you any brawler you wanted for a certain amount of chips. You could get these by opening brawl boxes or simply by getting duplicate brawlers. But these were eventually removed, and anyone who had leftover chips received an equivalent value in gems. Did you know Brawl Stars changed its tutorial multiple times? Probably not. But between 2018 and 2020, the tutorial changed 3 times, with these being mostly just map tweaks. But the 2017 tutorial was strange. It taught players to hide in bushes with waypoints and had you defeat bulls and dynamites. If they were Edgars instead, I might have actually played the tutorials. There was a wild glitch in Brawl Stars where you could swap star powers and gadgets between brawlers. I think I've mentioned this before, but it gets even crazier, like giving Mortis Coiled Snake to any brawler or bull using Poco's da Capo to heal teammates by attacking them. But my absolute favorite combo was El Primo throwing fire punches with Brock's incendiary star power. Gadgets were also swappable, but Supercell quickly patched this in Season 3 update. Did you know you could finish Brawl Stars? Before rank 35, the trophy max for brawlers was 500, aka rank 20. And with fewer brawlers, players easily maxed them out and literally had nothing left to grind out in the game. Supercell responded to this by raising the max rank, but many players have still maxed out their accounts at rank 35. And some players like Pongdalong have even got individual brawlers over 3,000 trophies. My advice, maybe finish a shower instead. Have you ever met someone so bad that you think they have negative trophies? Well, for a short time, this could have actually been true, because if you won and then lost with a brawler, you could drop below 0 trophies, reaching a new low of -1 trophies, aka the best dynamic player. Did you know brawler exclusive classes used to be a thing? Back in the early days of Brawl Stars, there weren't just 7 classes, there were more. Well, technically not more classes, but super specific ones. Like Crow wasn't an assassin, he was a toxic assassin, Mortis was a dashing assassin, and Amber? Oh, she was a straight up fire breather. But the best ones? Buzzassin. Unfortunately, this got changed to standard classes. Boring. Many players know that back in 2019, Supercell accidentally dropped an offer by giving 49 megaboxes for just 49 gems. Crazy, right? But in 2020, they did it again, offering 140 megaboxes and 300 coins for only $2. Players went wild, sharing it everywhere before Supercell pulled it from the shop. I am pretty sure someone got fired for that. Back in the day, Shelly Star Skin was just another default everyone had. But fast forward to today, and it's one of the rarest skins in the game. If you've got it, you're a true Brawl Stars OG, since you could only get it by creating your account in 2019 and keeping it since. Do you have it? And there you have it, guys. These were 19 things only veterans know about Brawl Stars. Make sure to subscribe and check out the video on the screen.